Sinbad is tasked with protecting the president's bratty son.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle,
Emily,
And Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 124.
yeah.
Yay.
It feels like it's been forever since we've done this.
124, that's my max speed driving.
What?
Really?
What?
I don't know what my max speed driving is. I probably hit 100 before. I don't think I've gone that far over.
124?
124.
I hit
That's
124 once, it was not the smartest.
what car was that in?
You don't want to know.
Okay,
It
interesting.
was in my little stick shift Honda Accord.
Oh, we have to delve back into Luis's past a little bit later.
The one he
Dumb
called Snow
Louise.
White.
Dumb Luis.
Dumb Luis. Well, you survived it, so.
He courted me in that car.
Oh, interesting. Gross. All right, this episode we are talking about the 1996 live-action Disney film First Kid, starring Sinbad and directed by David Mickey Evans.
I'm pretty sure this might be the first thing I've seen Sinbad in.
Ah.
Ever in your life?
I mean, I can't recall. Start naming
What
Sinbad
TV
movies.
show was he in?
He was on, was it Another World?
Didn't ever seen
Or
Didn't never say
Did-
that.
I
that.
didn't-
Wow, my Okie came
I
out.
didn't
I'm
never
sorry.
see that.
Sometimes it slips.
He was on the Red Fox show, and then he had his own show called the Sinbad Show. But yes, he was on A Different World. That's
But
what
like movies.
that's what I
like
remember
name
him
some
from.
movies I might have seen him in.
He was in Coneheads.
Nope.
He was in The Meteor Man.
Nope.
He was in this movie, First Kid. He was in Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Did not see that.
Okay, and
Now I remember him in that movie.
yes, he was the mailman who was a
Yes,
psychopath
he
and
was
also wanted to
awesome.
get the doll.
I think we've established that I've never seen a Sinbad movie.
Right.
Till now. I enjoyed it. Okay, so let's go into our first impressions. Andre picked this movie.
Yes.
He's been wanting to see it for a while, and we thought it was fitting because today is election day.
Well, tomorrow is
when
election
you're
day.
listening to this.
If you're listening to this on Monday, it's not election day.
I thought
yet.
election day was Monday.
Election day is Tuesday.
I already voted, so I'm all good. But
Dude, election day's never on a Saturday, Michelle.
Sweetie.
sweetie, sweetie.
This,
I like how I said it too. Oh, sweetie.
this episode is coming out on Monday, November 2nd, and
I'm
that's when
talking
you're
in the future, Luis.
that's when you're hearing it.
Well,
You know.
that's a problem.
Luis is like, today's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday. Y'all don't know your days.
First impression, Andre.
My first impression. Okay, so yeah, I chose this movie because I remember watching it as a kid. I mostly remember this movie representing Sinbad and showcasing him, and then I also remember like kind of wanting to be the kid of a president, I guess, at the time. I was like, he's got like a secret hideaway. His house is dope. He's got all kinds of, his room
house
is
is
amazing. The White House, yeah, that one. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's dope.
I remember it relating to the kid a lot in my original watching.
I hope you were a nicer kid than that kid.
Oh yeah, I definitely wasn't.
Yeah, that kid was a
I
turd.
definitely wasn't mean like that. But I did see some of the humor in messing with his Secret Service detail. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Especially when they get really upset about it, like old Woods. But we'll talk about him in a minute. But upon this viewing, I really appreciated Sinbad's performance. Like he is doing very, very well with all of the written material, and he's also improvising just a ton. You can tell that he's just riffing off the cuff every other second. It feels like, and he basically carries the entire movie. It's also very funnily shot. Like there's a couple of really fun zoom-ins and pans and stuff like that the director and cinematographer had a fun time with.
It feels zany without being manic.
Yes,
And I like that.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And for being a Disney PG movie, I mean, it has some pretty cool and still relevant themes
Agreed.
in it, with like the the cybersecurity and the don't talk to strangers on the internet, and disgruntled employees and all that kind of stuff. So I
Don't
liked
talk
So
to
you liked
strangers
it.
on the internet, Emily.
Yeah, Emily.
You could get scammed.
So you liked it.
Yes, I liked it quite a bit.
Great. Luis, first impression.
It was a good movie, man.
Mhm.
Sinbad he's the business. He
Yeah.
made this movie.
Right. He's one of the greats.
My first impression is that I also liked it. It was really good. I think like even like the quarter of the way through the movie, I was like, "Whoo, babe, I'm happy we're watching this." Like it was a really good movie. It was fun. The kid had a good performance. Sinbad had a good performance. It was like I like how it wasn't focused like on the president really.
Right,
Like I think
yeah.
at one point I was like, "Wait, who is the president?" Like it's just not even like about that. But this movie reminded me of like one of my favorite Disney Channel original movies is My Date with the President's Daughter. Have you ever seen that one?
with the President's Daughter.
Yeah. My Date with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really wanted to watch that
Yes,
after
we
this.
remember.
With Will Friedle. Yes.
Yes, freaking.
Boy Meets World.
I had the biggest crush on him. Okay.
And his long hair.
It was a good movie. Emily.
I really liked this movie. So for our listeners who don't know, I had surgery a couple weeks ago. So
the brain.
in the brain.
In the brain.
In the
So-
brain.
So the reason that we are it feels like we haven't recorded in a long time is because we actually haven't recorded in like 3 weeks.
It's been
Yeah.
a few weeks.
We kind of
yes.
binge recorded
It's
a
been
whole
a
bunch.
while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh no. Oh lordy. But with that being said, Luis and I watched this in the hospital room after I had my brain surgery.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Emily had texted us like the day after and was like, "What movie are we doing next?" And I was like, "Is she really watching it like 3 weeks before we're gonna record?" But
Oops.
that's Emily for you.
But we watched it, and
Mhm.
I was in the hospital, and all I wanted while we were watching this was a donut because of the donut scene. Like,
oh, yeah.
On the way out of the hospital, I was like, Luis, we're stopping by Starbucks. We're getting an
Mhm.
old-fashioned donut from there because they have
Mhm.
those.
Okay.
I'm like, I need a donut. Like,
Freaking.
Sinbad made me need a freaking donut, okay?
I feel you.
It was so funny. Sinbad was like, he's like, bro, stop what you're doing. Don't move. Don't breathe. Don't move a muscle. Give me that bear claw right there, right there. Pretending it was a bomb. He's very funny in this
They
movie.
get the bomb squad over a donut. And then the superior comes in and is like, is that a donut?
I'm like, why is he mad? Yeah, it's a donut.
Leave that box
People
of
like
donuts on me.
donuts, okay?
Well, yeah, I guess, they're not supposed to have donuts.
Who
on
was the kid?
the
What was
job.
his name?
The
actor.
kid's
The
name
actor.
was Mr. Brock Pierce, and we just recently saw him in The Mighty Ducks. He played Gordon at 10 years old, the young version of the coach, Emilio Estevez. And then who else was in this movie? Timothy Busfield was Woods. Art LaFleur was Morton, shout out, and then Robert Guillaume. How do you pronounce this dude's name? Robert Guillaume played Wilkes, Sims's boss and mentor, the older black guy.
I liked him.
Yes, I liked him.
Yeah, he was cool.
He was kind of grumpy, but I liked him still.
Yeah. Okay, so
I feel like you have to be grumpy to be in the Secret Service. Like, that's not like a
Yeah.
happy-go-lucky kind of job.
I mean, it's so funny because like that's kind of the whole conceit of Sinbad's character is that everybody in the Secret Service is serious and a little uptight because that's their job and security first and whatever. And he's coming in there with his big old fanciful ties and his big gigantic personality and his big old teeth, and he's
You can't really joke around in a job like that.
He jokes around so much, but he's so charming that it works almost every time as an advantage to specifically his job. Like they show up at the mall in the beginning of the movie, and the security guard comes up to him and Dash, who is his partner, and he's like, "Oh, sir, you can't park here. You can't park this car here. It's a fire zone." And Sinbad is like, "Hey, buddy, what's your name? What's your name, man?" And he's like, "Oh, my name's whatever." And he goes, "Okay, whatever. This is what we're gonna do. You and I gotta be buddies. You gotta help us with the Secret Service. You gotta secure the perimeter and watch this car. Don't take your eyes off this car. All right, bye bye." And and it works. Every obstacle he's able to talk himself through, and it's very funny.
He was definitely a smooth talker, that man.
Yes, indeedy.
I agree with him. Like, yeah, okay.
I probably would too. I'd probably be like, whatever you say, Sinbad.
Yeah, so the movie starts with the kid, Luke, who
He's
for
a kid in
some reason
America.
in my notes
Oh.
I
He's a kid in America.
I kept writing that his name was Zach in my notes. I don't know why.
That's not his name.
He just looked like a Zach, I guess.
What's his name?
His name is Luke.
Luke.
So Luke, he's messing with his Secret Service detail, and is really getting on the nerves of his main detail, his main bodyguard, Woods. Woods is a redhead, and he's just annoyed by all of the antics.
Why was that important?
just
and Woods is a redhead.
It's an audio podcast. I gotta give visual cues or whatnot.
Okay.
It's gonna be Sinbad's bald head versus Woods' red head a little bit later.
It was just funny to me. I don't know.
So Woods is.
When my mom describes things to me, she says she does the same thing. He was an Asian man. I'm like, okay. Like, nice.
It's just a detail.
Now I have a visual.
Detail on the detail.
So Woods is being he's being messed with real hard because Luke he doesn't enjoy having to have a security detail on him at all times. It seems like his dad is up for re-election this year, so that would mean that he's been the first kid for 4 years,
and he's 13, so like 9.
Right. So he's gone through puberty as this first kid.
I mean, he's still small. He has not hit puberty really, but
he's 13
Dude, he's
now.
definitely in the thick of it. Man.
Yeah, he's
emotionally,
going through it.
but not physically.
His hormones are raging.
I'm sure
all the way throughout this movie.
Yeah.
So he's messing with the security detail, and Woods everything is getting on his nerve. He's going super slow. They're supposed to show up for a meeting, but he's eating his cereal one pebble at a time or whatever.
It was cracking me up. At first, I didn't
He's a toddler.
Yeah.
Honestly.
To be
This-
fair, though,
this
Woods,
is-
it seems like he'd be annoyed by anything.
Right,
for sure.
exactly.
But this is how much deep I am into behavior therapy, because I was watching this like, oh, this kid's got some OCD. He has to walk around each table before he goes, and and he has to take one cereal out and put it back. I was like, this kid got some OCD. He need to go to a psychologist. And Andre was like, no, he's just trying to annoy the guy. And I was like, oh.
Well, it's annoying Michelle, you could tell.
It didn't annoy me. I was just like, oh, this poor kid.
He's got to walk
needs
around all these
therapy.
tables, and he's got to stop every couple of minutes.
He got an issue,
Bodyguards
bro.
walk right into him.
Jeez.
So they go to the mall, and it's like a big public appearance, right? So there's a bunch of cameras there. They're all snapping pictures and asking questions while Luke's just trying to go to the mall with his mom, who is the first lady. And they make their way into a store. Luke's like, why are we even in this store? You don't shop here. She's like, America shops here. Luke, boy, get it together. We're politicians.
Lady, I don't shop there.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't understand what she meant by America shops there. Like, everybody shops there?
Like, it's good for them to be seen shopping there because
Oh.
it's good for American, it's
Whatever.
presidential nonsense.
Yeah.
So Luke is, he's tired of all this presidential nonsense, so he's messing around. He's like going into the dressing room, and Woods has had it, and so he grabs him by the arm super hard, and he pulls him in to the dressing room, and then the first lady sees that, and she's like, "What are you doing? You can't do this to my son." I was like, oh, "Okay, go, mom." And she basically fires him on the spot. Like, they say he's reassigned at first, but he's gone. He's done being
He's
the
gone.
protector
They reassessed
for the
his mental
first kid.
clarity, and he failed that.
Right, exactly.
That's what they said.
And so, kid needs
My mental clarity wasn't on point when I watched it. I don't remember that point.
Yeah, like
Yeah, how fuzzy was
basically
it when you were watching
Sinbad
this?
takes his job,
Yeah.
and then they're like at the bar after, and Woods
Woods,
is like drinking,
drinking
and he's
hard.
like, "You gave me a 6-month paid vacation, blah blah blah," and then the boss guy, what's his name?
Wilkes.
Wilts, the boss guy.
Yes. Yeah, Wilkes.
He was like, "Oh no, we reassessed him for like mental clarity, and he failed. He's gone." And Sinbad was like, "Jeez."
Oh man, that's terrible because you don't want this job to take over your life completely. And
Lose your mental clarity.
yeah, Sinbad is having
Yeah.
such a good time doing whatever it is he's doing. His ultimate goal is to protect the president.
get
That's what
to
he
Eagle,
really protect the eagle. That's what he really wants to do. So he's trying to climb his way up that ladder. So when he gets the job to protect the first kid, he's like, okay, one step closer. I feel good about this.
Yeah, that
So
just
at the
seems
end
like
of that
an
whole
awful
mall
job.
scene, am I correct in saying that Luke gets inside the
He goes
Yeah.
to the dressing
he
room.
goes in the dressing room and he pretty much moons all of the
cameras.
Because he
Cameras.
doesn't mean to. you
No,
know?
he definitely means
He
to.
most
You think he
definitely.
did?
Yeah.
Have you ever accidentally stuck your butt through the
No.
your naked butt through the curtains at the dressing room? No, he definitely did that on purpose.
I have
And-
never accidentally stuck my naked butt out in public.
Oops. How'd this get here?
No,
so-
that would be an accident.
I don't know.
So
I'm
Sim
used to
stops
giving
that pretty
kids
quick.
benefit of the doubt, man.
Heck no, don't give no benefit of no doubt to no Luke.
So Luke, you know, he's gotten Sims as his main bodyguard now, and he really puts him through the ringer at first, right? He's trying all of his same tricks that he was pulling on Woods, but Sims is going more with the flow with it, but not with everything. Like he goes to his
he's
room.
pretty annoyed at first.
He makes him hold the snake.
Well, if somebody just handed you a snake, you'd be.
It's a gigantic python.
You would freak out.
And Simba's
I
like,
know
no,
you would.
I don't do no snakes. You
Yeah,
gotta
but
you
then
gotta
it's
do
like
with your
the
own
snake's
snake.
attacking him too. He's like, "Ow, it bit me!
He's like,
Ow, I'm bleeding."
He's so dramatic.
I'm bleeding. Get the snake off me. Put him back in the cage. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I mean, if somebody handed me the python, I'd be like, "Cool," but yeah, not Sinbad.
No, I would not have been like, cool.
Yeah, I would not have been cool with this. This is once again not a part of my job description, as Sim says many times throughout this movie.
Yeah.
Luke keeps planning little escapes, right? Because he's under the weight of the presidential pressure or whatever, and he wants to get away. So he tells Sims that, how about you walk my dog? And then when Sims refuses, he's like, okay, fine, I'll walk my dog. Meanwhile, he has a bag packed, and he goes out there. The dog gets loose and trips an alarm because they're on the White House lawn or whatever. The whole Secret Service squad zooms in. They got to turn the lights on. They got the snipers out. You know, they're doing the whole
Straight up
shebang.
prison thing.
Yeah.
Yes, basically. He is like a prisoner in his own home, technically.
In America's home.
Yes, in America's home, the whitest home. And then
I mean,
All right, it is the White House.
the whitest house, right? Isn't that what it's called? Anyway.
I don't know if it's the whitest.
And then Sims comes out there, and instead of trying to blame Luke for the security alarm or whatever, he tries to take the blame and pretend that they were just playing hide and go seek. And
Yeah, because 13-year-olds play hide and go seek.
I mean, they have before. It's not a completely unheard
I
of.
mean, when
or
they
whatever.
accidentally stick their butt out in public, apparently they can.
Yeah, not the most
Yeah.
mature 13-year-old in the world. So Sims is trying to get on this kid's good side, despite the fact that he is an annoying twit at this point, right?
Twit.
and
It's a twit.
and it's coming down on him from his superiors that like he's got to act right and stop having so many infractions against him. Wear regular ties. Stop jive talking all over town or whatever it
That's
is
right.
you're doing.
One.
Get it together, Sims.
I don't know why they're so stuck up on the regular ties, but whatever.
It's
Here's the kids' detail.
It's the uniform,
I know.
And the bodyguards, they gotta have the uniform. I bet they would take offense at me calling them bodyguards. They do way more work than that or whatever.
Yeah.
Protecting from terroristic threats.
Secret services.
Secret services. So Sims has to go to school with Luke.
Which is
It is very funny.
He's
very
literally sitting in a
Little child
little
desk.
children's desk in
And
the science
he's
class.
his old.
Is it science or English?
It's
Science.
it's a science class.
Science
A
class.
biology class, I think.
Yeah.
Stupid, boring.
Biology 101.
Very funny. Yes.
So he's
biology
super
101.
famous, obviously, right? He's the president's kid, and so he walks into the school very Harry Potter like. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, who's that guy?" And there's this one Draco Malfoy type dude.
Yeah, why is there's always a little...
There's always a bully, right?
no, there's always...
A floppy-haired blonde.
yes,
kid.
thank you. There's always a floppy-haired
this
blonde
kid?
bully,
I feel
like we've
jock,
seen him somewhere
whatever.
else.
This kid in particular, his name is the actor's name is Zachary Ty Bryan, and you remember him from Home Improvement. He was the brother, and he was also, I believe, what did I just say he was in, dear?
I don't know.
I had mentioned it to you when we were watching this movie. But
That's a
now
good point.
I can't remember, and now I don't see it. But he was a bad guy on some movie that we watched pretty recently. Maybe not. I don't see it on here. Maybe we just remember him.
He
from
was a
Home
little
Improvement.
antagonist, though.
But yeah, he's
Yeah,
definitely
but there
a
is
little,
this is always a little blonde bully, man.
definitely a little jerk
Every
face.
movie.
And so yeah, he immediately sets his sights on picking on the president's kid, which seems like a terrible
No, that is not who I would
target
be picking on.
to have. Like I don't understand that you don't understand that there's a big old black bodyguard in the room with you right now. Why are you picking on this kid? Let alone the fact that He has an entire security service detail that's
Because-
patrolling the school or
Because
whatever.
he's insecure about himself, so he takes out his bullying on others.
See
The sad tale of the bully.
That's why they
CBT
bully.
up in here.
That's why they bully. CPT.
Is it not?
What's that stand for?
Child Protective Services.
No, CBT.
Child behavior therapy.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
what I was trying to say. Isn't
yeah.
that what you do?
I'm a BCBA.
Okay.
Close
There's
enough.
a lot of acronyms.
Anyway, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Well, yes, that's a thing that I don't do, but it is a thing.
It's a thing, and
It's a thing I don't
what
do.
it stands for. That's
I
what
just know
that's what I was
things.
looking for.
I
Anyway,
drink and I know things.
I
anyway,
drink and I know things.
Yeah, that's a Game of Thrones reference.
Oh.
yes.
It's fine.
Sims is in the classroom. He's mingling with these little kids. There's a hot teacher. She's over there, and she's making eyes at him and whatnot. Luke obviously hates all of this that's happening. He wants Sims to stay away from him. He tells him to give him some space when he's at lunch. And then Rob comes in hot, and he's like, "Hey, whatever, president kid, you think you're better than everybody?"
Well, he
I hate
asked
you."
him to sit. He's like, "Do you want to sit with us?" And he's like, "No." The president's
Right,
kid is like,
yes.
"No."
Mhm.
And he's like, "So you don't want to sit with us?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "'Cause you think you're better than us?" And I was like, I really wanted him to be like, "No, I don't want to sit with you because you're a freaking jerk."
I wanna
But
sit with you
he's not
specifically.
confident in himself yet.
But hold
Right.
on,
No.
was he a jerk to him prior to that?
No,
what did
that kid's just a bully.
Was he a jerk to
In
him
class,
prior
though,
to that?
yeah.
Yeah.
he,
He was being
in class?
jerky.
Yeah,
Okay.
he made some snide little comment when Luke
Okay.
first walked in and introduced
You don't
himself.
want to sit by him, okay?
Right. Unnecessary. So
He got bad attitude.
Mr. Bad Attitude, Rob, he keeps badgering Luke,
He
and
clocks him.
Luke eventually gets up and walks away, and then they confront each other out on the field, not on the streets, and all the kids start surrounding
Feels
them.
like it.
That kind of always happened, like there was always like a really big field of grass, and if you go way out there, and then the yard duties could never get there in time before the person got clocked.
I've never been witness to that, Michelle.
Oh,
How many
that's
times
why-
have you been witness to
That's
this?
what happens when you go to school in Modesto.
I mean, that happened at schools in
Modesto.
series too, for
Clocked.
sure.
Oh, I was in the straight middle of a gang fight one time. Thank goodness I was friends with Devontae because he was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm just trying to get to PE." And he picked me up and he put me on the side by the PE
I
locker.
was in the middle of a gang fight.
I was.
Thanks, Devontae. Did you know your wife was in the middle of a gang fight?
I didn't know she was saved by a strange stranger named Devontae.
He's not a stay. He was my friend.
Oh,
We used to
good.
play basketball in middle school, but
Oh.
then when I went to high school, he couldn't be friends with me no more because he was in a gang, and he didn't want.
Dying.
I'm serious. Ask my mom. She loves Devontae.
Dying.
He was in the gang, so he couldn't be friends with you no more.
Yeah.
Those are rules of the gang. No Michelle friends.
See that
Wear
little
the color
Michelle over
blue.
there?
No being friends with Michelle.
People who aren't from the Central Valley are like, "What's going on? We got gangs here, guys." Okay.
Yeah, we got plenty. I had plenty of gang friends. They were allowed to be friends with me. I don't know what happened. Anyway.
I don't know.
I had plenty of gang friends.
He didn't want me to. I don't know. It was really nice.
So they're having this scuffle
Ooh,
in
my
the.
face hurts.
They're having this scuffle in the streets, and Sims has taken a step back. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna let this kid, deal with it on his own." And then
He said he wanted space.
he said he wanted space, exactly.
Good.
So Sims sees that a fight is for real about to go down. So then he starts running over, and the crowd is getting bigger and bigger. So he's having a hard time getting all the way through. And right before he gets to Rob and Luke, Rob clocks Luke right in the nose, right in the mouth, right in his facial area, and gets him real good as Sims tackles the bully. And this causes a problem when he goes back home because, the president and the first
Does the
lady.
detail? I'm surprised he didn't get in trouble for tackling the bully.
I mean, that's his job,
To tackle a kid.
to tackle someone who's
Attacking.
intending to hurt his target, his subject.
I'm surprised those parents didn't sue.
The
You gonna
president?
sue the federal government and the Secret Service.
I don't
They're-
know.
That's not a fight that they're gonna win. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
But a Karen would try.
I
But a
mean,
Karen would try.
that's true, and this does seem like a pretty
Yeah.
Karen-heavy school. So, they all kind of get in trouble, including Sims. But Luke specifically, he gets
Luke.
grounded, for the length of time that the
A
president and the first lady are going out on a campaign trail. So a whole month
No mesa.
he is grounded, and he goes into a hormonal rage. He runs away to his room, and he goes into the secret hidden room for all of the first children of the president. So there's like JFK kid signs in there, and there's like a what other president?
There's like a
kid is
Chelsea
mentioned?
Clinton.
Yes, a
like,
Clinton.
I thought that
reference.
was cute.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, that's the secret society for first kids or whatever. Their little clubhouse. So he goes in there and he's just
Luis
crying a
was
bunch.
like, "What is this?" So excited.
It was cool.
Secret rooms are awesome, and
Yeah.
I want one. I don't have one yet. Is there a place I could build one into my house? No.
No.
Well, Imani's room. You could
I
just.
guess I could just go into the underneath of the house. It's just
Ew.
be all dusty and
It's
gross under
bugs.
there.
These bugs.
These bugs. So secret rooms are awesome. Sims finds him pretty quick. I guess he didn't know that the room was there, which is interesting. You think the Secret Service would know all the ins and outs of the White House or whatever, but well, that's cool. He goes down there and he immediately is able to befriend Luke by appealing to his good nature. He tells him about the struggles that he had when he was a kid and stuff like that, and how he can teach him to be a cooler, better dude and whatnot,
and defend himself.
And then they commiserate, and he stops crying and gets a laugh out of him or whatever. And so from then, once the parents have gone, the president is no longer in the White House. Sims is able to periodically sneak Luke out of the house. He dresses him up as a kid named Reggie, who's got on a wig and a hat.
So ridiculous.
This is very stupid.
And nobody is the wiser.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
No big
He
deal.
does it. He does it all the time in like the dead of night. He takes him out. He takes him to a boxing gym where they train for I don't know, a couple hours.
You're forgetting my favorite scene in the movie.
Go ahead.
It's when Dash, his like the car driver,
Yeah.
like really
I love
thinks
that
it's
he's
a
the
kid.
driver named Dash.
Really thinks it's like a kid named Reggie, and then they're like driving him home. And I don't remember what he says, but it's like something really sassy.
Because they're talking about Luke, and Dash goes like, "So Reggie, do you actually like hanging out with Luke?"
Oh yeah,
Even
because he was
though
like, "Oh,
a
he's
huge,
the
he's
worst."
like a huge butthead or whatever.
They were hecka gaslighting that dude.
Yeah, and Luke is sitting there as Reggie's like, "Oh, nobody likes Luke," and Dash was like, "Dude, nobody likes Luke. Luke sucks."
So funny.
That was hilarious.
And Luke, he's dressed up as Reggie, but he reveals himself to Dash, which he's not supposed to do, according to Sims. And he's like, whoa, I'm Luke. And Dash is like, ah! And he stops the car, and he's like, I'm taking control. I'm taking command. We're taking him back. This is crazy. You're
Oh,
nuts."
that's what he does. He has his like sunglasses on, and then
He's very
Sinbad's
Luis
like,
when it comes
"You're
to
not gonna,
rule following.
Yes.
you're gonna take us there. Otherwise, Luke is gonna like tell his parents that you let him out." And he was like, "Dad, Dash took me, and I told him not to." Like he was doing this whole
want
like
it,
thing,
Dad.
and I was like, "Wow, this kid's."
Good God.
Dash,
That was like my favorite scene. I don't know. That got me. It was
It was
funny.
very funny.
so
I
Dash
really
goes along
liked
with
Dash's character.
it. Yes,
Me
I did
too.
too. The partner.
Yeah, I really liked him.
And he was really staunchly rule following at first, but then later on we see him helping out with the dates and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He's very funny.
He
So yeah,
loosened up.
they take him to the boxing gym. The boxing owner, the coach, the gym owner, he tells his whole story about how Sims, when he was younger, he used to get in there and box in the ring and fight dudes out, and he got knocked out a couple times. So the rest of y'all ain't nothing. And and then they proceed to start training. Some other boxing gym guy, he comes up and tries to help Luke when they're at the gym bag, and he starts bopping him in the face or whatever, and which teaches him to keep his hands up. And then the boxing gym guy is like, "Hey Sims, why don't you get up on the bag? You haven't been here in a while. Let's see what you got." And Sims is like, I can't. It's been a long time. I probably can't. Let me just tap the bag a couple of times. Then he goes boom and knocks the guy into next week. It's so funny.
Yeah, we were laughing
We were
very
dying
hard.
That was very funny.
pretty hard when he busted that fool across the room.
Clocked him.
So yeah, they are able to sneak back into the White House basically undetected. Sims' boss comes out. He's like, "Hey, boss, what you doing here? You burning the midnight oil? What's going on?" I just, me and Luke, we were playing hide and seek again. We were going out for a walk with the dog. Oh, here's the dog. Look at that. Bye. And then they they wave at him several times as he's walking away, and then they were like dancing in the background. It's a bunch of stupidness.
But it's very fun.
But it's
I
very
liked
fun.
it.
And the last time that Morton turns around and sees them, the dog is waving too,
Yeah.
which I liked. So yes, there's a montage of them doing this periodically over the next, several.
Which is good
days
because
and
this
weeks.
kid needs it. He didn't know how to jump rope.
He didn't know how to do anything. He doesn't know how to jump rope. He doesn't know how to dance. He doesn't know how to talk to.
He doesn't know how to talk to
girls.
girls, that's for sure.
Well,
Right.
and I think one of the things that I thought that was most interesting that we're missing a little bit is that throughout this whole time, Luke is periodically having conversations with some unidentified, I'm assuming,
Oh, yes.
girl.
He's talking to Mongoose 12 online.
On the
Who's
interweb.
on the
interwebs.
internet.
The
Yes.
dark net.
Yeah, I don't know if he thinks that it's a girl or if it's just like
I think
a
he kind
buddy.
of does.
Probably, yeah, because like he's chatting them up real good on the interwebs.
He's on AIM.
Yeah, he's on like AOL chat or whatever.
And he's
Yeah.
up in there he's getting catfished, honestly.
Yes, and so Sims keeps checking in on him when he's doing this. He's like, "Hey, what you doing online? You're not telling anybody who you are, right? Right? You're not." Okay, and he's legitimately not. He's like, I live around Washington, and my dad works for the government or whatever, but it's not that big of a deal. He's being vague. Do you have some, Lou?
I was just gonna say you said exactly how Sinbad would say it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Right?
Right? Don't do it. So yeah, he's being pretty coy, but the Mongoose 12 person starts like mentioning the idea of like meeting up in real life and stuff like that, because they like, "Oh, you live near Washington, I live near Washington too, we could totally like hang out or whatever. I'm 12." And so aside from Sims, Luke doesn't really have any friends, because even at the school everybody's kind of like antagonized him except for the one like cute girl who's there. And so he's relating pretty hard to this Mongoose 12 person. So eventually, Luke gets snuck out to the little girl's birthday party at the roller rink.
She invites Luke to her birthday party at the roller rink, and he like wants to go because he has like a massive crush on her, but
he
like
can't
he's
go.
grounded.
He's still grounded.
Yeah,
And so
roller rink. That's
and
so
he-
90s.
I know.
90s birthday.
I miss the roller rinks, dude.
And
too.
he feels like he has to go because the other rude boy
Yes, Mr.
is
Rob.
also into this
And he's
girl.
going too.
He's gonna go
And
and he's gonna try
he
to
like-
slow skate with
So
her.
he wants to go, and he's like, I just want to see who she's gonna skate with. I just want to see who she's gonna sit next to while she's eating her cake.
Yeah.
I like, so he doesn't even want to go to like go. He's like, I just want to like
I just need to know.
like a moody, broody,
Yeah.
preteen.
Yeah.
He's
So funny.
Batmaning really hard right now.
It's very low stakes. What's
wanna-
happening?
I just want to see who she eats cake
You
with.
know what? Everyone's been there. Okay, I've been
And
there.
Sinbad's
Oh, I
literally
remember.
like, I don't have time for your middle school drama. Like, you need
Yeah.
to get it together.
This is nuts. But
There you go.
Sims caves because
Because he sets him up.
he likes
He says
this
he's
kid.
gonna. He said his dad calls him to check in on him, and he's like, "What have I been doing?"
Oh, maybe I've been going out boxing with my Secret Service guard, and so he threatens him with telling on him basically, and Sims caves, and he sneaks him out as Reggie to the roller rink, and while they're there, Luke keeps on like, I just got to get a little bit closer, and like, but I can't have you here, Sims, because everybody from school is here and they'll recognize you because you're gigantic and a Secret Service guard. so you have to
He's so
stay
tall.
away, or come out onto the ice with me dressed as
The ice.
a Coca-Cola drink with a piece of pizza in it. What is this costume? What is happening here?
This is the worst. What do you call
It's
that?
like a mascot. Yeah, it's a
The roller rink mascot, and that's
Roller
pretty
King
accurate.
mascot.
You got a freaking Pepsi and a pizza. You got the Roller King, dude. They turn on the chicken dance, and you gotta skate backwards to the chicken dance. You know, it's hard, man. See, at the Roller King, they had that dude in the chicken suit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right when they
Yeah.
played the chicken song.
Probably.
You had to dance backwards. It's so hard.
Some traumatic
Yeah.
memories right now.
Yeah.
I was a great skater. I never had no hard.
Whatever.
I was great at skating backwards.
You used inline skates, didn't you?
Probably, yes. I didn't want to use their little box skates or whatever.
Ah.
The roller
Ray-
skates?
roller
The
skates.
roller skates, yeah.
You know what? Roller skates are hard.
They
Yeah,
are hard,
they're more
dude. But they were
difficult.
easy as a kid.
I still like the inline skates. I was blatant, okay, like Brink.
Whatever.
I asked Luis yesterday if we could take Adeline ice skating this year, and he was
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh no,
She's
gonna
too
be on the
young.
floor the whole time." And I
Yeah.
was
Dude,
like,
she as soon as she hits the ground once, she's done. She's
She's
gonna
over?
Get out.
I think she's a little too small still.
I was like, but they have those little like walker
Oh, yeah, the
things
little-
that they give to kids so that they can
Those
shuffle.
are funny.
You could take her sledding for show.
Oh,
Hop on the sled. Gotta take it. You gotta drive her to the snow.
she's gonna cry.
Milk it
So
down.
No, at the pumpkin patch, the Deloso Farms, they have
Mhm.
it in the winter where they have the sled hill. Just take her there.
Oh,
So they have ice skating there too.
that's cool.
Mhm. That's where
cool.
Luis proposed to me. Was at that?
Yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
That's where we
That
had our
ice skating.
first date.
Yay.
Oh, that's weird. That is where Luis proposed to you, and that's where I had my first date with this one.
She? Hi.
Oh, I'm this
She?
one.
Yeah, you are this
That's
one.
me.
Love is made at the Deloso Farms. Get your pumpkin and you smash it on the wall.
Oh.
Anyway,
Wow. That's the new jingle.
so Sinbad is dressed up as a glass of Coke or whatever, and he's slipping and sliding all over the ice because he can't see. And meanwhile, Luke/Reggie, he's trying to intermingle with the kids, and he sees that Rob and the girl Katie, they're holding hands and they're skating, so he's all depressed and sad.
He's like, no. And then that's when he wants to say, he's like, I just want to see who she eats sits next to when she eats a
When she
cake.
eats a cake.
And that really got me. That like took me back to middle school when nobody was asking me out on dates. And I'm like,
Right.
oh
just
man,
wanna
he's
see
eating this
this.
hot dog next to that food.
If I don't sit next to her at the pizza party, it's over. Okay.
Yeah, that's why Devontae played basketball with me. He was a nice guy.
Thanks, Devontae. So eventually, Rob and his other little cronies, they attack the Coke bottle or whatever. And
Can you say Pepsi?
I don't think it was Pepsi. I think
It
it was
wasn't
Coke.
a bottle, wasn't it? Just like a
It was like a cup.
yeah,
like
a
that
cup.
cup.
It's not a Coke bottle.
Well, okay.
That's a
A
soda
cup
cup.
of Coke.
It was a cup of Coke.
It's a Pepsi. It was blue. Coke is red.
I think it was red.
No. No.
I'm pretty sure he was red.
No.
But yeah. So they attack him. He slips and slides all over the ice or the roller rink or whatever.
Yeah, why do you keep saying ice?
I don't know why I keep saying ice. And then
Sorry,
The
I got it
rink.
in there.
yes, all over the rink. And then eventually he falls into the cake, which effectively ruins
And Katie's
Katie's
pissed. She's
birthday.
like, well, my birthday. And he's like, yes.
That's right. He was so happy that that Rob ruined the birthday. This causes them to dip out pretty quick, but I think they make it back to the White House without too much terror. Yes, it was red. It was Coca-Cola. You need to stop saying Pepsi, and you need to stop saying blue. Also, there's pizza in this drink, which once again does not make any sense. Who's dipping their pizza in soda?
Luis.
So because
Luis.
Why do you always like point out the most vermin stuff out there in the
Vermin.
wait, you dipped your pizza in soda?
No.
I used to dip sugar cookies in soda.
I did my pizza in
That's-
ranch and
that's
hot sauce like a normal
It
person.
was pretty good.
That's very
It was in college. They had like the buffet.
It's not interesting in college. Maybe as a child it was.
Ow, my face.
All my friends were judging it for me at the time as well. Okay. They go back to the White House.
He asks his parents, so he's like, Luke's like happy that Rob or Bob or whatever blew it with Katie.
Yes.
And there's a dance coming up. Okay, there's a dance
mean
coming
Tiny
up.
Tom?
Yeah, Tiny Tom. And so Luke asks his parents if he can go to the dance because he knows he's grounded, and they say that that's fine. And he's like, yes, but then
Sweet.
he has to ask Katie out. Oh no. So Dash and
Dash and Sims.
and Sims are there, and they put the little mic in his ear.
They give him the headpiece.
Yeah, and they tell him what to say, and man, it's just atrocious. And that's exactly how middle schoolers ask each other out.
I mean, he barely manages to get any words out.
But that's exactly what it's like.
At all. Oh, I didn't ask anybody out until high school, and then I got rejected a couple times, so I didn't ask anybody else out again until college. You know what I mean? It's a hard knock life for me.
Luckily, let's see. I never
Michelle asked you out.
I did. Yeah, I did ask you out.
Yeah, you did. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. What were you gonna say about yourself in high
I
school?
was thinking of high school. I think the first person who asked me out, I said no because everybody wanted me to go with this dude, and I didn't like him. I was like, no,
Was
I
it
want
Devontae?
No, it wasn't Devontae. His name was Tom actually, and I did not like him, and he was not that nice. And then I got pressured into going to the dance with him, and then I did, and I just didn't. It was whatever. Yeah, nobody really asked me out after that, so I went to my prom by myself. That was sick. Well, actually, I had a prom date, but then he changed his mind like 2 days before.
Oh man.
He asked me out though. Then he
But
went
then he
back.
changed his
He
mind.
got back with his ex-girlfriend, so then he went to prom with her. So then I danced with everybody at prom, and it was sick. But I went to prom 3 times because when I was a sophomore, this girl in choir asked me to go to prom with her.
Nice.
And I was like, heck yeah. She asked me, like, on the Disney trip, like on the Splash Mountain. She held up a sign that said prom. And I was like, sick, who'd you ask to prom? And she was like, you. And then years later, I found out she was a lesbian and she was into me. This is how gullible I am, guys.
I mean, you went on a full date with this person and you didn't realize.
How's that gullible?
Because she was my friend.
You didn't know.
I just did not know.
I mean, yeah,
You mean
that
naive?
happens.
Yeah, there we go.
Right. You weren't gullible. It wasn't like she was like, hey, Michelle, if you go to the dance with me, there's a cake in it for you or whatever.
Cake? I like cake.
So he gets permission to go to the dance. He attempts to ask Katie out. She's like confused about it the whole time because he's stuttering and he's got a earpiece in and he's acting crazy. But he eventually gets the words out. And yeah, she's like, if you want to ask me, just ask me. He's like, Sim's like, go ahead and ask her. And then he does. She says yes, and he runs back and celebrates with the boys, Sims and Dash. And then he realizes that he can't dance, so Sims has to teach him how to dance in his
It's
bedroom.
like a classic teaching how to dance scene, and it was really cute.
Yeah,
It was very good.
Straight out of Hitch, you know. And then they go.
Then he can't go to the dance.
That's right. There is a lockdown initiated at the White House
bomb
because
threat.
there is
A backpack.
unintended backpack on the front lawn, or right in front of the front lawn, outside the fence. They shut down the whole White House, and Sims once again lets this kid sneak out of the house. How does he do it this time? Do we remember?
He did not take that bomb threat
Did
seriously.
he have to distract? Yeah, he really didn't.
left.
He just left.
They just left.
They just dipped out of the White House while they were on lockdown. They go to the dance. Luke shows up. He's in his freshest snakeskin outfit. I really liked
Dude,
his
it was
little
hecka
suit.
funny. Yeah, me too. I liked his suit.
And Rob is there, and he's dressed like a little punk. He looks like he's ready to go bowling or whatever. He's got his big old bowling shirt on. And Luke starts dancing with Katie. And Sims has to teach him how to dance while they're at the dance too. So he starts dancing with the hot teacher, which is nice or whatever. And then what happens after that? They start slow dancing.
Mm-hmm.
He teaches him how to do that. He like grabs the teacher by the waist and pulls her in tight or whatever.
The best part is when he was teaching him how to dance, and he was like, "You can only do the thrust move one time per song." Does he say like one per song or something? One per song. One per
Only
song.
one time, Luke. What's my song?
Freaking hilarious.
Yeah, because he was going pretty ham with that thrust move.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, as middle schoolers would.
I was laughing so hard and my head hurt so bad for sitting there in the hospital. I'm trying not to laugh. And it was just like jarring my poor little brain. I'm like,
Oh yeah, that would not be the time for you to laugh. In the
No,
hospital
so
when
many
you're watching it.
pubescent
But it was
hip
funny.
thrusts.
It was very funny.
He was really going for it.
No.
Reminds me of my wedding dance.
Oh, you were doing that? I feel like I threw a couple thrusts in there too.
What was that laugh?
Pre-wedding.
We didn't have a wedding dance. So yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you did.
Of course you did.
I was
We were
thrusting
there.
all over the place. You don't remember?
I remember when you were coming right at me trying to get the thing off my leg.
Oh yeah, that was funny. And I also almost dropped you when we did our first
Yeah,
dance.
yeah.
When you guys did.
Andre,
did the dip.
I'm kind of heavy, yo, and Andre's kind of small, and he dipped me, and it almost didn't.
Don't dip me, don't dip me, don't dip me, don't dip me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
It was one of those
What?
That's what we danced to.
what song is that for the listeners?
I live in a penthouse in a room with a view.
It's I ain't got nothing if I wouldn't have you.
nothing if I couldn't have you.
From Monsters Inc.
Don't dip me, don't dip me, don't dip me, don't dip me.
Yeah.
That's Andre and I's Disney song.
And I dipped her real good.
Andre's
Yeah.
and I's.
I said don't tip me, and he did, man.
Anyway,
Oh, my back.
they're all having a grand old time until the Secret Service all show up at the dance. They have realized that Luke is missing, and
Which
you know.
one of you is Billy Crystal? Which one of you is John Goodman?
He does John Goodman, and I do Billy Crystal.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
Alright.
my
Why?
little eyeball.
Did you need to know that?
I did need to know that. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I sang the Billy Crystal
Because I
part.
don't think I can. I can't look or hear or see. I can't unsee John Goodman
Right.
as that guy from Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
for
so
sure. It's hard,
disturbing.
huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that movie though.
The movie was great. The Secret Service shows up. They're upset at everybody. Luke has to go back immediately, and Sims is fired from the Secret Service. Turn
Heck
in
yeah,
your-
he's
Turn in
fired.
your badge.
Also,
and
why
your
did they
gun.
leave the White House if there was a bomb threat? Was the bomb threat done?
No, but definitely was not.
Was it
done.
just that kid's backpack? Did he leave it on the lawn?
No, it was not his. I think. Actually, I don't know.
I think it was a distraction or something.
Possibly, but it also could have just been from a tourist, like
Yeah.
Sims had suggested or whatever. Because a bomb didn't end up going off or anything like that.
Yeah.
So go back. Sims gets fired, right? And then Luke is kind of on his own. There's other security detail.
Dude, they freaking put him on like lockdown.
It's extra lockdown. Yeah, he is in jail.
They put
in the White House.
like a tracker on him,
yes, he gets low jacked pretty good. They put a ankle bracelet on him.
basically.
Yes. So Luke is complaining to his homie Mongoose12 on the interwebs about his new ankle bracelet, and he's like, "Hey, what if I could get that ankle bracelet off? Would you come to the mall with me? We could play some VR games or whatever." And Luke is like, "Yes, I would love to do that. I am a naive child. I'm ready. Let's meet up." And so he does it. He used some of his Sims tactics to slip out of his ankle bracelet. He puts that on the dog. He packs a bag.
It reminded me of Ant-Man, big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
He slips out. He sets a distraction off with the dog. He goes to the mall. While he's there, Sims is he's called in by the Secret Service because they realize that Luke is gone, and then
And they're wondering if he's contacted him.
right. So Sims goes off on his own investigation. Also during the movie earlier, he had purchased a separate LoJack device for Luke. He gives him a peace necklace that has a GPS tracker in it, and the tracker itself is this big old gigantic cell phone looking thing that apparently he's supposed to keep charged, which he doesn't. So Sims goes to his mall guy, the guy who works in the tech place of the mall, who used to be a Secret Service agent, and they together recharge the tracker and find out that Luke is in the mall with them. So they begin their search, and as they're searching, Luke is in there playing super sweet VR games. They look dope. He's got a big old gun and a gigantic headset on.
Andre was like, I always wanted to do one of those things.
I always wanted to do. Did you ever do any old school VR?
No, but looking back at it now, I don't think I would want to go back in time and do it.
I mean, it's pretty. The rigs were crazy. I mean, it's in the mall because they're all gigantic. He's putting on a 15-pound
Oh
thing
my
onto his
God.
head and a gigantic plastic fake gun. So he's in there, and he's approached by a stranger. He gets tapped on the shoulder or whatever, and he takes the headset off, and he realizes that it's Woods.
Oh no!
He's like-
Gasp!
And Luke at first is just like, "Oh, they got me. Secret Service people. They found me at the mall. This kind of sucks. I'm supposed to be meeting someone here. Why would they send you, Woods? You got fired or whatever." And Woods is crazed. He's drunk. His
Dude,
eyes
he's
are bloodshot.
crazy.
He's wearing a terrorist outfit for sure. He's
It's the hair for me, like his sweaty face.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the way
his
his
sweaty
hair was,
hair.
like on his forehead.
all nasty.
He kept reminding me of who did I say earlier? Louise?
One of the Weasleys.
What'd you say?
I said one of the Weasleys.
No, but Harry Potter, which was funny. He reminded me of Lupin, but when he was as Ares in Wonder Woman.
Oh.
When he was like super crazy at
Yes,
the end.
yes, at the end.
He reminded me
Interesting.
of that.
With some disheveled hair across his forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. So Woods is dragging Luke through the mall. Sims is on a hunt for him. He finds him, and when he confronts Woods, Woods is out of his mind at this point. He wants to hurt the first kid. He wants to get his old job back. He wants all kinds of things that are clearly impossible. But he has brought a gun with him. He pulls a gun on Sims and on Luke, and then he starts popping off shots at Sims. Sims runs away. This is a really good action scene. I think I liked it a lot. Towards the end, like once again, this is a PG movie, but the violence like ramps up right here.
I know. I remember being like, as he's dragging the kid through all the people in the mall, like, is nobody like, what the heck? Because I would be.
I mean, yeah, I guess small people are just either not bothered or they think it's just, it's a bratty kid.
Can I give you a rating thing real
Yes.
fast? So there is 1 minute and 31 seconds that were cut from this movie because it was because of this hostage attack part in the shopping mall.
Okay.
They said that with the sudden onslaught of violence, it was too heavy for a PG rating, so they cut a whole bunch out to make it less
less violent.
Violent, I guess.
Less crazy.
Well, yeah, because that's crazy.
But I mean, it's still pretty crazy. But
Agreed. I think I looked at Luis and was like, dude, this is why you have to be vigilant in public. Like,
right.
if you ever saw something like that happening, like, you have to be an
See
advocate and say something.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was definitely like, whoa, this is Disney. I was like, okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
They're really doing it here, because Woods, he starts popping off shots in the mall. Everybody runs away, so it's an empty epicenter there. But then he, Sims gets behind cover. He doesn't have a gun because they took his state issued weapon or whatever.
'Cause why would he need one right now?
Well, this is why. But he charges Woods once he realizes that he's out of ammo. He tackles him. He knocks the gun out of his hand. He pushes Luke away, and then they get into a tussle. And we saw Sims knock that other dude out earlier in the movie, and he clobbers one onto Woods. He punches him, and he
Into the pond.
flies into the pond. And we think he's taken out for the count. He goes to check on Luke. Everything seems to be fine. And then, this is probably the scariest shot in the movie. Woods rises from the pond with his bloody face. Go,
Yeah, it was
He does a Michael
really
Myers.
gross, dude.
Oh, God.
It's really disgusting. Even though his original gun was knocked out of his hands, he has a gun on his ankle holster. He pulls that out, aims it at Sims first, and then wheels it around over to Luke, and then we get some very intense slow mo.
Very weird slow mo. Yeah.
This shot takes a while, right? So he points it at Luke. Sims runs over. It's all in slow mo. He takes the shot. He pulls the trigger. The bullet comes out, and then Sims dives in front of the bullet. Pew! It hits his shoulder. He saves Luke. And then the rest of the Secret Service finally arrive, and only one of them shoots
Dash.
at Woods. Yeah, it's just
Dash
Dash.
was like, blah, blah.
He hits one good shot in the shoulder or whatever, which takes him out, and then they take Woods in alive. And that's basically the end of that gigantic confrontation.
He's a real homie.
Right. So Sims gets commended. He gets his job back. He is back
Obviously.
reinstated into the Secret Service. And they offer him the position to protect the Eagle, his ultimate dream job. But Sims refuses and says, "You know what? Nope. I like where I am. I like where I'm. What
He's
I'm
got to
doing
go
with
to
my life."
biology 102, man.
Right, gotta hang out with a hot teacher.
Mhm.
And so he agrees to stay as Luke's security detail, just as Luke is playing field hockey in the street in front of the White House, and he slaps a puck right into Sinbad's face,
was rough.
which is pretty funny. And that's the end of the movie, right?
It was so cute.
It was really, really solid.
I
think.
enjoyed it a lot.
Me
like very
like it.
solid. Like we've watched. I mean, a couple movies lately where we're just like, oh, jeez. Because like a lot of the times I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great, and it's not.
Yeah.
So this was like kind of refreshing to have just like a silly movie that was actually like really good. But
And I didn't
think
particularly expect a lot from it.
Me
so when
either.
we watched it and I liked it that much, I was like, well, that was freaking
And I really think
Right.
like Sinbad, like obviously made the movie, but like the kid too.
Yeah, the
did
kid
a-
was
He
good.
did a really good job. He was just the right amount of annoying
Mm-hmm.
that it wasn't like I hate this kid.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because he's
He
able
got
to
pretty
turn it
close
around.
a couple times, but he
Turned it
wasn't
around.
like like he was. I cared enough about him to not want him to get eaten by woods.
There was
Yeah.
good justification for why he was acting out as often
Exactly.
as he was.
Oh,
his dad's the
absolutely.
president. He's got all
Poor
this
kid
press
needed some
media in
therapy,
his
man.
face, and he's locked down in his house with no friends or whatever.
He needed some CBT.
Exactly.
Alone.
I don't know.
He was
what's-
all alone.
Oh,
He was
okay. I didn't
There's
understand
no
what song you were
one
singing.
here beside me.
Okay, this
His
movie
problems are all gone.
had a budget.
Yeah, that song. But you gotta have friends. Hey, isn't that from Shrek too?
Stop singing.
I mean,
We've been doing way too many Shrek references
Can't help
lately.
it.
yeah,
If it was a Disney movie, guys, we would definitely do it.
I know.
We could just do it anyway.
We could do it anyway. This movie had a budget of $15 million, and it had a box office return of $26.4 million.
So it made some
So it
money.
made some
What year was
money.
it again?
This was 1996
96.
in August.
Yeah, they had shoulder pads on. And it was very nice.
All of Sims's ties were
Or ties my dad for sure had.
outlandish and lavish, and
Outrageous.
right
Like
up
there was like a
Sinbad's alley.
purpley tie that he was wearing, and I was like, my dad for sure still has that tie.
He had the bow
'Cause
tie on at that black tie.
My
event or whatever.
dad has so many ties.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous, and they're all funny like that.
Mm. That's cool. That's cute.
I think Luis has 3 ties, and none of them are silly.
My
Mm.
dad wears a tie every day.
I don't wear any of them too.
I have several ties.
He's a school administrator, though. They
I
wear
guess
ties.
I only wear them when I wear suits, which isn't
Yeah,
often.
but he's a school administrator. He wears
Right.
ties. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Exactly.
Not what I mean. All right, so let's
Get
go
what I mean.
ahead.
Andre wears his graphic tees under his button-up shirt.
He
That's
does,
right.
and then he gets home and takes his button up off, and I'm like,
I always find
put
it
my
very
Just
funny
Andre.
to see wearing that.
Mm.
sometimes he'll wear one, but like I could see it underneath. I'm like, you need to put another shirt on under
Nah,
your
nah, nah,
shirt.
I'm letting it poke through. You know what I'm saying? for the
I just saw
underground.
the scores on Rotten Tomato.
So
Of this movie?
on Rotten Tomatoes,
Oh my gosh.
the movie First Kid has a 20% on the tomato meter
Why?
and an
Gosh,
audience
that's-
score of 32%, which is
There's
interesting.
no way.
So there's only 15 critics reviews on here.
Yeah, well, what is the consensus?
There is no critics consensus for this particular film, but let me just read one of the snippets of one of the
Rotten
Rotten
Tomatoes
reviews.
is wrong.
It says, this is from a 2 out of 5 from Brandon
Rat.
Collins. It says, fine, a little long despite only being 104 minutes. The chemistry did kick in around the second half, but it's just an implausible, crazy movie. And then another person said, unfunny Disney comedy, Sinbad needs a better vehicle. And then another one
Really?
said,
I disagree with all of this.
technically, this is just all over the place, and it's hard for me to overlook it. So the critics at the time were not happy with this movie at all.
But even the audience score is
Yeah, the
32.
audience score is really, really low, which is surprising because, once again, I think this movie is one of the best ones we've seen in quite some time, especially in that live-action comedy
like
for-
older comedy
for
yeah.
Disney kind of
like
kind of movie.
Flubber-esque type
Yes,
of movies.
exactly. This is definitely the best one of those.
This
that
is
we've
not
seen.
their forte.
No,
unfortunately.
for sure.
It's
Um,
not
but I
Disney's
think,
forte at all.
You know, Disney approaching Sinbad and saying, "Hey, we want you to do a movie with us where you're starring," and then he does this performance. I mean, I think he knocked it out of the park
the show.
for sure. You know,
Let's rate this thing, Luis.
I think I was drooling on my mic.
It's your mic. It's
Gonna
fine.
have to sanitize that.
It's her mic. It's her
Yeah,
nubbin.
that's true. It's her
Dude, I'd
nubbin.
give it a solid 8. It was definitely worth an 8.
Ocho.
I'm gonna agree with Luis and give this movie an 8. It was good. It was solid,
Mhm.
and I liked it.
Mhm.
And I'll probably watch it again. Emily.
I would watch it again.
Yeah.
8.5.
I think I'm also going to give it an 8.5. You know, it's a pretty simple plot, but a solid one. There's fun sequences. I like when they're at the boxing gym. I like when they're at the roller rink. I like everything that Sinbad does. I don't think he misses a beat in this, and then
Yeah, he's funny.
and then everybody supporting him is good. And then once again, the action scene at the end, I think, is really good, except for the very last part where it's a super duper slow mo
Yeah, it's just 90s.
gunshot. But everything else is really dope, and this movie deserves more than what it has on the tomato meter.
Poor tomato meter.
Poor tomato meter.
Stupid tomato.
Stupid mater. So that's
They
it
have
for
rotting.
this week.
It's just like a fried green tomato. That's what it looks like.
It's
It's like a fried green tomato.
it's rotten.
That's the
It's,
green
just, it's just a
tomato.
splat, like when they throw it at you on the stage.
Yeah, it looks
for a bad
It
performance.
looks rotten.
It's rotten,
That's the green tomato.
but it's a red tomato in my heart. Next week we are going to be
In my
watching
heart.
the
Wait, whoa.
What
Did
is
you wanna-
happening?
did
Are
you
you
wanna-
miscomputing?
I kind of want the listeners to guess what movie we're doing because this is like one of the only classics we have left.
But we have to announce it so that they can watch it.
Oh, right.
I need
Hey,
you to guess.
hey,
I just
listeners.
wanted them to do some process of elimination.
Listeners, it's 59:25. All right, on the timestamp.
If
At
you
this-
want to guess, you can.
At this moment, send in your guess right now.
As to what classic Disney animation movie do you think we're doing? Because this is like literally the only one. It's not the only one, but it's one of the only ones left that we haven't done.
All right, have you guessed yet? Go ahead and pause it. Go to our Instagram at the Walt Vault Pod. Comment what you think it is.
It's
And now I will tell you.
Now you can tell.
Next week we are going to be watching the 1967 animated Disney feature, The Jungle Book.
No Christopher Walken.
Yes, we're watching the animated Jungle Book, not the live action. We'll do that at a
Even
at
though
a
I thought
later
we had
date.
done this, but I guess not.
No, we have not.
You owe me $10 million.
I know.
Oh
I know.
goodness, that's right. It's
I ain't got
it's a
no
lot of-
$10
lot of
million
money.
dollars.
The student loans are gonna have to wait. We gotta pay these people. The $10 million.
Okay.
Yeah. So please join us next week for some Jungle Book goodness. Look for the bare necessities, them simple bare necessities. It's a bare necessity for you to follow us on Instagram. We are at the Walt Vault Pod.
Wow, what a great transition.
Go there. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of First Kid. Do you think it deserves more than its 20% on Rotten Tomatoes? Do you like Sinbad as much as I did? I was laughing like almost the whole movie.
Yeah, he was.
I was having a good old time watching it.
Good old time.
Good old time.
Good old time.
Leave us your guesses as to what animated feature we just announced. It's going to be if you somehow manage to do that. Please.
So silly.
If you want to help support the show, please make sure you're subscribed to the show on any podcast platform you're listening on. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube.
Hey, Luis, how did you feel about your stuff getting funded?
Oh, that's right.
Thanks, guys. You are gonna help young kids not dehydrate and not get heat exhaustion.
That's right. You saved
Thank
the kids.
you, and you guys are gonna get a special something from.
A special something, a special card.
I'm not as happy as I look. I will say just that.
Yeah, he really was pissed when we took those photos, man. It was like, hurry up, we gotta do this before some kids come up to me and try to take a picture of me because I'm dressed like Olaf.
Yeah, but that didn't happen, right?
No, it didn't.
Yeah. It was
But
just-
thank you guys for doing that. And if you donated, you will be getting a card in the mail soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much.
We really
Put
appreciate
it on your fridge. Put it on your mantle.
Mm-hmm. That's where I want it to be seen, So send us those pictures in when you get them.
Yeah, send
the
us a
mail.
picture of the picture on the fridge or the mantle.
Yeah,
Offered
displayed.
on a mantle.
I will have another one coming up, but I'm not gonna advertise anything. If you would love to share your job earnings, that would be awesome. But I cannot.
Another job earning.
But I
what
cannot.
he's trying to say is he's gonna do another fundraiser.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do another one. Another what?
I thought we were doing
shoot as
another
well?
photo
And
shoot.
this time, he will dress like Elsa.
Yeah,
No,
oh, no.
this time,
This
this time you guys are doing that out of the kindness of your hearts, because I know your hearts are very kind for donating in the first place. So thank you.
Dress up as Elsa.
Elsa?
It's,
Do you want to build
Samantha?
a snowman?
we're gonna film a whole Let
Samantha?
It Go music video.
Samantha?
With Louise dresses as Elsa. It's gonna be great.
I want to be Sven.
You guys should have seen the face he just gave me.
I'll braid his hair right now.
We
It's
cut
like
it yesterday,
it's like a
it's
little
not enough.
Obi-Wan braid. It's not long enough to be a Elsa braid.
Padawan
Little
ponytail.
Padawan pony.
Um,
I cut his hair yesterday too.
Yeah,
I'll give you a Padawan pony.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either, but I don't want to know.
Okay.
I'll
Knock
take
it
a
up.
Padawan ponytail. I'd look cute.
I'd look cute.
Nobody looks good with a Padawan ponytail. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
gonna give Emily a Padawan right now. I'm gonna find you a little clip and you're
Whoa.
gonna clip it. It is a little Padawan pony. Just for that, we're gonna give someone a Padawan pony. So we can Photoshop it on Luis's head.
Oh, we should definitely Photoshop it onto all of our heads if that's what we're doing.
Who looks better with the
Uh,
Padawan pony? Vote in the Instagram stories.
Oh my god. Yes. So please make sure you subscribe.
hate
Leave a
you
comment
so
on
much.
YouTube. Hit the like button. Hit the
I
notification
used to have
bell.
a Padawan pony, actually, if we're going to be honest.
Oh, so now we better find
Alright.
that
Called a
picture.
Padawan
Yep.
braid, everyone.
Find
Well,
that
it's a
picture.
Padawan pony now because it rolls off the tongue better.
Give me that Padawan pony.
You think
homie.
they braid it with,
Padawan
with
pony.
the force? They're just like
No. This
The force
isn't no
is definitely
freaking
involved.
magical Rapunzel hair.
I mean, it's the force hair, you know. That's how you graduate from youngling into Padawan. Is you
You
gotta
force braid
force
your
braid
hair.
your own hair.
So stupid.
There you go.
All right, this episode needs to end. You guys, thank you so
yeah,
much
we're obviously
for
tired.
listening. We enjoy you. We love you. Hey, don't forget to check out our merch store. It is starting to get colder everywhere.
It's
unless
a little
you're
bit
on the other
chilly.
side of the earth, which you might be. But because of that, head on over, get yourself a Walt Vault sweatshirt. Emily is now showing us a picture of Anakin Skywalker
Padawan pony.
with his
It looks
Padawan
like
pony.
a high school photo, like in the yearbook.
That's from Attack of the Clones. Yeah, but go to our merch store on bonfire.com.
Anakin Skywalker with his Padawan braid.
Get yourself an Always Snacking hoodie or a Walt Vault logo hoodie. They look good and they feel good too. I'm getting one very, very soon for myself. All right, that's been it for this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you. We love you. We will see you next time for some Jungle Book goodness. The vault is now closed.